everybody, it is Carrie from Macmillan Library, and we are back for another Let's Make Lunch. This is part of a lunch making series that we've been doing to give you ideas, to give your kiddos ideas on things that they can make with minimal supervision, really. So it's things that are pretty basic, pretty easy, and very versatile. So you can change up the ingredients to kind of make it suit your tastes. So today we have got a recipe that I really like to have sometimes even for dinner, and it's called cheesy eggs on toast. So it's very versatile. Like I said, you can kind of put in things, whatever kinds of things you want. You can use whatever bread you want, whatever kind of cheese you want. So you can add in other things if you want. So we're just going to kind of go over our ingredients and our tools that we're going to be using today. First thing, for our toast, we've got some bread. This is just some French country bread, and this is not pre-sliced. So as you can see, I cut it a little thicker than you would normally have a regular slice of bread. We have got some butter, just regular old butter, table butter. We've got some cheese. I have grated some sharp cheddar. You can use whatever type of cheese you would like. A good melting cheese is probably key. We also have a couple of eggs. You can make as many as you want. I usually go with about 2 per person. You know, sometimes you're maybe wanting more or fewer. It's up to you. We need a fork to beat our eggs. And we're going to use our standard household toaster. And we're also going to use a non-stick skillet with a drop of olive oil in there, and I've got some salt and pepper. So that is all we need for this recipe. I also always like to have a little bit of history and trivia to throw into my programs, just to kind of give you an inside scoop on where these things have come from. So let's start with toast. Let's talk about toast. The word toast actually comes from the Latin torrere, which means to burn. So toast is basically a type of bread, any type of bread, that has been browned by toasting using a radiant heat source. So you can use a toaster oven, a broiler, a flame. Like if you have a fire, you could toast bread over the fire. And the browning is actually the result of something called the Maillard reaction, which alters the flavor of the bread, and it also makes it firmer so that you can spread things on it more easily. So there we are, toast. Toast is often eaten with bread, with butter, margarine, jelly, jams. Sometimes avocado toast is really big right now. It's pretty versatile. A lot of people have it for breakfast. And it's eaten all over the world. So back in the 1400s and 1500s, it was actually used to flavor drinks. So after they'd use it to flavor their drink, they would either throw it away or eat it. Who knew? It's very interesting. And that is actually how they think to make a toast actually came about, because it was used in drinks to flavor drinks at one point. So there you go. All right, so what we're going to do to get started with our cheesy eggs on toast is we are going to take our bread and we're going to pop it in our toaster. And you want to make sure that your setting on your toaster is whatever brownness of toast you like. And we're just going to pop that down. While that is toasting, we are going to cook our eggs. We're going to get our eggs started. So we're going to crack our eggs into our bowl. There are so many ways to make eggs. You can fry them. You can do over easy, poached, scrambled, soft boiled, hard boiled, a whole bunch of different ways, right? Scrambled is probably the easiest and the way most people like to eat their eggs. So we're going to stick with scrambled today. So the first step in making a scrambled egg is to crack the eggs into the bowl. I like to crack it on the side. Some people say you should crack it on a table. because you get less shells in there. I don't. I get more shells if I crack it on the table. So I just crack it on the bowl a little bit, and then we're just going to pull it open and let it go right into the bowl. Make sure you get all that stuff out of there. All right, and then we'll do number 2. Crack that in there. Oops. Always a little bit there. All right. All right, we're just gonna get rid of these quick. Just rinse my fingers. I got some eggs on there. All right. So one of the key ways to make scrambled eggs nice and fluffy and not I don't know, and like moist and kind of nice is to really beat them really well. So we're gonna make sure that we really incorporate some air into that. I like to use a fork. If I'm making more than, let's say if I'm making like 6 or so eggs, I'll sometimes use a whisk in a bigger bowl. But because I'm only making 2 eggs today, my whisks are just too big for this. So I'm just gonna use a fork, which is fine. Lets the eggs get through it. And as you can see, we're starting to get some bubbles in there. That's what we want. I want to see some bubbles. Another key to making your eggs is to making your scrambled eggs, or any eggs really. Eggs are very fussy, is to not cook them on a very high temperature. You want to cook them pretty low. So on my oven, I've got 8 settings. I've got mine set on number 3, so I don't want it too high. And it's been heating, so my pan is hot. I do have some oil in there. You can also use butter if you would like. And we're just going to pour those eggs right into our pan. And what you want to do is you want to make sure you start moving those eggs, right? Move those eggs around. It is a non-stick skillet, so it should be pretty good at not sticking. What we're also going to want to do at this point is add in some of our cheese. I think I've got too much cheese, so we're just going to add about half of that. That's good. And we're just going to make sure we incorporate the cheese into the eggs. Mix it in. The eggs and the cheese will be melted together. Those are already done. Those did not take long at all. All right, so what I like to add is a little bit of pepper. I probably won't add any salt because the cheese is pretty salty. So I am going to not add salt at this point. So if you can see, our eggs are nice and fluffy. You can see some of the cheese in there and some pepper. So it's finished cooking. I'm gonna take that off of the hot area of the stove so it stops cooking. And I have made sure that my stove is off. And our toast has popped up by now. So we are going to take our toast out of our toaster, like so. We're gonna bring it over to our countertop. And we're going to butter the toast. If you want to make this into more of a meal, you could certainly add a salad with it, or you could add, you could do like the British do and make a can of baked beans and have some baked beans with it. I know it sounds kind of interesting, but that is extremely popular over in Great Britain. So you could do that. You could have some fruit. You could also mix in some vegetables or some ham if you would like that. There's all kinds of different ways you could do this. So I like to have my cheesy eggs right on top of my toast, like so. You can see the cheese, it's all melted and gooey. Perfect. The eggs are not brown. They are just a nice pale color, which if you don't overcook your eggs, that's the color they should be. And there we have it. Our cheesy eggs on toast is ready to eat. So I really hope you enjoyed this recipe. We will be having another Let's Make Lunch real soon. I'm looking forward to making another lunch with you. So enjoy your cheesy eggs on toast, and we will see you next time.